Welcome to My Long Island TV. From Manhasset to Montauk, we have traveled our communities to bring you the following events. I'm your host, Waldo Cabrera. My Long Island TV starts now.
So this was one of four largest mansions in the United States at the time. It was finished in 1920. It was a big thing for most of the wealthy people and to have a summer home. The Carnegies, the Vanderbilts, maybe several. And so they were Irish Catholic and they wanted to show off a little bit to themselves what they could do. Genevieve Brady was very much invested in it. And she watched everything that was put into this house and checked on it, on the quality, and worked with the architects and engineers. And her husband did it also, but not as fully. And she would call this her baby, So he'd go out to Wall Street every day, to his office, and she would go on her charitable missions. She went to Glen Cole and would buy a lot of things in Bohack and give them to the poor there. They would entertain people here, especially their friends that would come from Europe and bring them out here for tea, afternoon tea, whatever. They weren't into the Gatsby crowd, they were very religious. She went to Mass whenever she could, or she would have a priest come locally to the chapel upstairs, St. Genevieve's Chapel, which is a beautiful place. You think you're in Europe when you walk into it. They're very close to the hierarchy. Cardinal Eugenio Pacelli, who came here in 1936. He was here in and out for a month, visiting 18 different cities because he's the Secretary of State for the Vatican. First one ever to visit here, and rumored to be the next Pope, which he did become in 1939. And they belonged to the St. Ignatius Church on Park Avenue, which the Jesuits ran. And they attended there, and that's how they got to know us. There was always talk that when they finished with this place, they would give it away as a country boys' school, hoping some religious order would take it. We walked through this house and say, this is a bit different, They try to keep it simple, not gaudy, And so they didn't stuff it with everything. Although the house costs $2.5 million, but they had $8 million of antiques that came here, And then they had an auction when they gave us the property in 1937. They only got scarcely $500,000 because of the Depression. And that all went to charity. So when the Jesuits got the place in 1937, we couldn't accept the luxuries in the place. Right? So we had a vow of poverty, and we had to go and then buy furniture. We should have kept some of it. They had, at the time, 227 acres. They started with about 300, but they gradually sold it off to the water company and the Long Island Expressway that was going to be built and stuff. And we received 131 acres. The Brady family is scattered all over, and they, I think, were somewhat disappointed probably when the house was given to the Jesuits. This is the Depression, and even though most of them were wealthy, everybody was hit, with the Depression, and but she insisted on it. She said someday they'll see the purpose of this. Other things about the building is that it has all these sculptured fairy tales around them, mostly Aesop fables, and other scenes that's few that we can't identify yet, but we can identify Little Red Riding Hood, Puss in the Boots, Bear Rabbit, and many others that around. And it was part of the Enlightenment period. You walk around the building, and each one of these fairy tales had a lesson, and that would be enlightening for you. It's about 100 rooms now. We have rooms for spiritual direction, which people can go. We have trained here about 25 spiritual directors, mostly lay people, some sisters and deacons, and they meet people here for spiritual direction. So we have to have enough rooms for them to come. The main purpose here is really to give the spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius of Loyola. He was the one that founded the Jesuits. And this is like a treasure he left us and the world. It's considered one of the 10 most important spiritual movements in the country.